Hello everybody, welcome to Boss Rush Games 1v1. Sitting in for the wonderful Celeste today is your host, Dan Murphy from Nintendo POW Block. Today we have a very special episode where I'm interviewing the developer of Chesslocke, Mr. Loxolus. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem. So before that, we'll get into a quick housekeeping. Hey everybody, thank you for checking out 1v1 on Boss Rush Network. If you'd like to join our growing community, please check us out on Twitter at Boss Rush Network. And in our bio, you'll find the link for our Discord. 1v1 uploads every Friday on the Boss Rush Network podcast, which you can find on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else that you can find podcasts. And if you like 1v1 enough and want to check out some other shows, check us out at www.bossrushgames.com, where you can find all of our network of shows and some great articles to read. Hope to see you there. All right, so Loxolus, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Let's see. I have been a gamer my entire life. I remember when I was just a boy, parents came home with a regular Nintendo Entertainment System with the Super Mario and Duck Hunt combo. It came with that zapper gun, if you remember that. But I started playing that, and I haven't stopped gaming since. I play a lot of RPGs. I'm also a streamer on Twitch, and I stream RPGs. My day job, I do network management for telecommunications. I have a 7-month-old baby boy, and I'm the developer of Chesslocke.
You know, we're here to talk about Chesslocke. This is your game. This is your brainchild. It's a game I found on Steam, and I was really impressed by it, where it's a game that, you know, it was really unique to me, and it felt like it should have been something that was made before. But can you kind of go into it just a little bit? Tell us about Chesslocke, what it is, the basics, and, tell us everything we need to know.
Yeah, so Chesslocke is chess with RPG elements. So your pieces gain experience points, level ups, new abilities to unlock and upgrade, and it's played across a 50-mission campaign where every match has uniquely placed pieces. So if you think about chess, the game starts the same way every time, right? Your chess pieces start in the same position. Well, in Chesslocke, as you progress through the campaign, every mission is going to be uniquely placed pieces. So maybe your king and queen start on the corners of the side of the board. Maybe your knights start on the third row. Maybe you only have 4 pawns to use. And maybe there's a wall, which is a new obstacle which blocks movements wherever it is. So these are just new obstacles that you're going to have to maneuver around. And since every game is different, you have to come up with new strategies. You have to figure out how to win, and it's a different game every time.
So basically it's like you're going to play a round of chess each match, correct?
Yeah, so it uses the normal chess movements. Bishops move diagonally, and your knights move in the L shape. So all that is normal, but there are new abilities that you can unlock and upgrade to help you win games. Like some are offensive, some are defensive, some are utility.
And what's really cool too is like it's not the same amount of set pieces that like a regular chess match has, correct? Like you could have a few less pawns, or are there even extra pieces sometimes in matches? Like you could have 4 knights or something?
So once you beat the campaign, which is 50 missions, it unlocks something called the dungeon. And I was thinking an RPG, it's good to have a really hard endgame dungeon for a new challenge, and your opponent is going to be very unfair. They're going to have more pieces than you. They're going to be better positioned. They're going to have an advantage in their positions. You're going to be outnumbered. They're going to have some more abilities to use against you, but the regular campaign, it's even on both sides of the board, right? So you and your opponent are going to have the same opportunities.
Right. And you had mentioned as well, like, each piece has kind of its way to level up or get unique abilities. So how do we do that? Like, there's experience points, correct?
Yeah.
So how do you earn those?
Right. So, well, if you play a video game, like an RPG video game, and you have a battle, and after the battle, there might be maybe another screen that tallies up how much experience points you earned, right? Well, in Chesslocke, you get experience points for the number of enemy pieces you capture and other various achievements. So, as you progress the campaign, all those experience points carry over to the next match. So you can grow your pieces, upgrade their abilities to be more powerful the next match.
Okay. Do you have any kind of do you have any favorite abilities or upgrade? I have a few, so I'll let you go first.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people see the Bishop revive ability as it's very useful.
Yep.
It's also more expensive. The Bishop, I tried to make it more like a cleric or a healer or a white mage type. There are no health points in Chesslocke, but the Bishop has a revive, and it's very useful.
Yeah, exactly. And it, like, one of my strategies with it is I get so aggressive with the queen at the beginning just because I know.
Oh, yeah.
One of the queen's abilities is to actually appoint a pawn,
Right.
which just changes them into a bishop.
Yep.
So I'll already have a bishop on hand, and I'll get real aggressive with that queen because
Yeah.
I know, like, I'll get that queen back, and you can kind of strategically place it because there's two ways to win. You can either wipe out the board, or there's a chair that you sit in for 2 turns.
There is a throne. Yes,
A throne.
that is right. So one something that's pretty different is the kings, wherever they're placed, the kings always start on a throne. And the object of the game, instead of checkmating the king, you have to land on the enemy throne and stay there for 1 turn. That gives your opponent a chance to do something about it. So it's kind of similar to check, right? If you put the king in check, then they have to, get out of it. Well, if you land on the throne, or if the enemy lands on your throne, there's 1 more turn. Maybe there's a move you can make. Maybe there's a sneaky ability that you can use to help you win the game.
Yeah, and that also kind of brings on the strategy of kind of defending your throne too.
Right.
And
yeah.
like how you're going to place some pieces around it, as well as like knowing what your abilities are, and maybe that can help with your defense.
Yeah.
Do you have like a very underrated ability for any characters or anything like that?
Yeah. Again, the Bishop has this ability called Repel, and it can actually push some of the enemy pieces away. So if there's an enemy and he's landing on your throne or too close to your throne, or just is about to capture one of your pieces, you can use this Repel ability, and you can push that enemy back to the other side of the board, and it's a good defense, but it can also be used offensively. You can push them back to the other side of the board. Maybe your rook or your queen is lined up with that square that you push them back to, and then you can capture that piece.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I mean, I've been playing this game. I think I downloaded it in the beginning of April. I've been playing this game a lot. It's really fun, but it's very, very difficult too. Like once you start getting towards the later campaigns, or later in the campaign, I think I'm on level 36 or so.
Oh, wow. Wow. Great.
Yeah. So, I'm getting there, but I love having the achievement board and really trying to go for these achievements over and over and getting those experience points. But, learning how to use the abilities is kind of like a game within itself,
right,
as well. So this is a single player game. There's no 2-player or anything like that yet.
It's multiplayer is in the works.
Multiplayer is in the works.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have the screens ready. I have how it's all going to function, and testing is going to be later this month.
Awesome. How's
Yep.
this going to play out?
So you are going to start the campaign or select a map, select a mission that you and your opponent agree on, and you can play it that way. There's going to be a map preview now. So you can scroll through and say, oh, I really like how this one is, the pieces are placed in this one and the walls are over here. This one looks really neat. So you can play a single map, or you can play through the whole campaign. You both start at level 0, and you will grow as you play the campaign. So I don't want someone to be too overpowered and playing against, if there's a level 50 player playing against a level 10 player, well, that's not going to work, right? So you would both start with the same amount of XP, and then you choose which abilities you want to unlock and upgrade, and then you can play through the campaign together.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm excited for that. So
Me too.
that's awesome. I can't wait. So Chesslocke, it debuted when?
March 4th, 2021. So just 2 months ago. It's only been out 2 months.
Still a baby, huh?
Yeah.
So are there any other development things going on in the background for Chesslocke, or?
Yeah, well, there are definitely plans. One, the most requested thing is multiplayer. And in fact, there have been a few YouTube videos doing a review, and they're positive reviews, but they take a point off because there's no multiplayer.
Wow.
And so that's definitely going in. I would love to expand to iOS and Android. I think this would be great on a tablet or even on a phone. I would like to localize to other languages, and just bring more people to playing the game.
Yeah, the multiplayer, I think it'll be a big deal because for someone, for me, I'm not that good at chess and I love RPGs. So this is such a nice balance for me. Were you a big chess player growing up? Walk me through this. How did you come up with this?
I was playing a lot of RPGs and I was playing a lot of chess.
Yeah.
And about 10 years ago, I just thought, man, it would be so cool if your chess pieces could get level ups like in an RPG. And I just thought, man, someone should make that. And then I started planning. I put it on paper and I put it on spreadsheets and I made some prototypes. I played around with the size of the board. It was a really big board, and then another one had different shapes, and then I wanted this randomness factor to it, and so I used a random number generator, and then on the 8x8 grid, whatever number it hit, I would put a wall on that square, and that means that you cannot pass over that square or land on that square, and that spawned the idea of the wall, which is the rook's ability. The rook can place a wall and it can block your movements, or it can protect your allies. But then there's also the wall that maybe mission 12 has 4 walls, and they're just squares that you cannot land and cannot pass through, and it just adds a new obstacle. So yeah, I was playing a lot of chess, playing a lot of RPGs, and I thought, man, there should be a chess RPG, and there wasn't one, and so I just started making it, and here we are.
Well, I guess there's more to it as well, beyond the idea of it. So you have an idea, you come up with a good idea, but how do you make it happen?
Yeah, okay, so I got as far as I could on paper and testing it as best as I could. And one day I thought, okay, you know what? I can either sit here and not bring it to life, or I can actually try to do something. But I had never made a game before. I just knew I had a really cool idea. So I called 3 different game making studios or app development studios, and they all gave me a quote of about $35,000.
Oh my God, really?
And my dream was kind of like shut down. I had just gotten married. I had just bought a house.
Oh.
And I was thinking, oh my gosh, I cannot spend $35,000. And, my dream was just crushed right there. And I just thought about it for a few days. And I was like, you know what? I have something really fun here. It's unique. It's fun. It's cool. It's challenging. How can I do this? And so I went onto Fiverr.com, which is freelance freelancers, and it's thousands of artists and composers and programmers and any job that you can think of, and they have all their portfolios and examples of their work. And so I needed three things. One, I needed an artist, and then I needed a composer, and then I needed a programmer. So I went through hundreds of artists, and I found a guy. I really liked his style, and I said, "Hey, can you?" So the important thing about Fiverr is that since there's so many freelancers, you're going to find someone that is in your price range. Mm-hmm. Right? That's the most important thing. It's got to be in my price range. It's got to have, the quality, and they have to be able to do the job. And so I found this artist, and hey, I really like your style. He already did some medieval work. And so I said, hey, can you make a knight? And he's riding on a horse, and he's jousting, and he's kind of coming at the viewpoint, and with his lance, and he's jousting. So he says, yeah, sure. So he made that, and that is the knight's joust ability artwork. And in fact, I use it on it's actually box art for not YouTube. Anyway, so he made the knight's joust artwork, and I said, I love this. I have 25 more I need you to do. Can we work out something, since I had this bulk order? And so he gave me a very fair, a good deal. And so he knocked out 25 more pieces of artwork. And then I found a composer, and I said, hey, I really like your sound. I need something, I need like 5 tracks. It's game music. And I said, okay, chess. Okay, so classical piano. And I said, no. I need something with some bump, something that doesn't make the player go to sleep. And so he had these 5 tracks. That's the tracks when you're playing the game, when you're in the menu.
I always listen to the chill music when I play the game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Chill. Yeah. And so he did it that way. And, it's what I could afford.
Okay.
And then the programmer was the hardest one. I found a really good programmer, and we talked about price, and I thought, oh my gosh, programmer's going to be the most expensive. How much is it going to be? I have to know, how much is it going to be? And then he says, let's do this in phases, little by little. And we would work in phases, part-time, over the span of 12 months. And I would just pay him in, small increments over 12 months. And that's how I did it. I could not do 35,000 up front.
Right.
But I did about a third of that over 12 months.
Right.
And that's how I made this game.
Wow. So do you know what program your developer used?
Yes, it's Unity.
Okay. Yeah, Unity seems to be somewhat, user friendly. Did you attempt to try to do this on your own at any point, or were you like, this is just beyond me?
Yeah. I mean, I have I got some programming books. I bought this online Unity course. I looked at YouTube videos, and I gave it a shot. And you know what? I realized I can either take the several years learning how to do this, and then even more years actually perfecting it to be actually good at it, or I can, find someone else who's already good at Unity programming and do it that way. So that's what I did.
Right. Because at that point too, it's like, it's pretty much a full-time job developing a game. And with everything else you have going on, you just said you had bought a house, just got married.
Yeah.
It's a lot to put in there, but I'm sure that gives a little hope to some listeners that are saying, man, I really want to develop a game, but I just don't know how to.
Right. Exactly.
So that's cool. Like, do you ever, do you see yourself developing more games? Do you have ideas behind you? Like, is this something you'd do again?
Yeah, I would absolutely love to make more games. I think about ideas for games all the time, and I put them down on paper. I'm still working on, promoting Chesslocke. Like I said, I'm working on implementing multiplayer. So it's going to be my focus for, the next several months.
Right.
But I would absolutely love to make more games. That's the dream.
And you're not part of any studio or anything. You're just doing it on your own as well, right?
Right. When you go to the Steam page, it just has my name. It asked me, "What's the name of your studio? What's the name of your company?" And I don't have one. It's just me. So it just says mine. It says Taylor Hatton.
That's pretty funny. I mean, so since you're on your own, you're not paired with any studios or any help like that. How has the marketing been for you?
Yeah, so I haven't paid any money for advertising, and right now it's all been word of mouth. I wanted to release the game, and I really wanted to get some initial feedback before there's any big marketing. So I got some feedback, and I realized I have got to get multiplayer in ASAP. So working on that. I did reach out to probably the top 10 biggest chess streamers on Twitch, and I sent them a Steam key so they can play the game for free, and I'm still waiting for one of them to accept the challenge of Chesslocke.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of niche too. Like I feel like chess streamers just want to play chess.
Exactly.
Right? And even though you're moving pieces and you have a chessboard, this is not necessarily chess, correct? Like
Right.
I feel like it's more of an RPG than it is chess in a sense.
Yeah. In fact, I heard back from a really big chess streamer on Twitch, one of the biggest ones. He got back to me about 20 minutes before this interview.
Oh, wow.
And my mind was blown. And he said that he's focused on chess and not so interested in chess variants. And so it's not really his thing. So
that's too bad.
I'm still looking. I need someone else to step up to the challenge. And, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, maybe some good RPG streamers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, with it being out for a month and you or 2 months now, and you doing all the advertising yourself, how's it going? How's the start been for you?
Yeah, it's been really well. At the beginning of April, I had a really big YouTuber find my game, and he played it, and he made a 40-minute video, and that was huge.
Awesome.
And so that got a lot of eyes on the game. And I actually reached out to a lot of YouTubers and streamers and RPG players, indie game players, and sent a free Steam key. And a lot of them checked out the game, played the game, and left a good review. And I'm just looking for more eyes on it. But I still feel really good about it. It's still really new. And like I said, I think once multiplayer hits, it's going to bring a lot more people.
Yeah, for sure. And I really love the game. I want to see more success with it. So I hope some of these marketing tactics really help out with you. So when it comes to like the development and like all the marketing and everything, did you find any like strengths or weaknesses in what you were doing, and what did you really learn out of this that you weren't expecting?
I wasn't. I think what I should have done was done a Kickstarter or GoFundMe, because I saw there were some other chess variant makers that are trying to make, a different way how to play chess, and they did a Kickstarter and they raised $15,000 in like a month.
Oh,
and
wow.
and I thought, gosh, and it gets a lot more eyes on that the game is in development, and you have your funding right there. And I didn't do that because I had no idea if this game was ever going to come out. And I just, if I used, other people's money, I didn't know what I could promise. I didn't know what was possible. And so, but yeah, looking back, I should have done a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe and done it that way.
Yeah. That's kind of intimidating too.
Yeah.
When a lot of people are donating money and they're, like you said, you just have to really follow through with everything. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
Man, that's a good idea. I never thought of that. So, is there anything else you want to tell us about Chesslocke before we move on? Just a little bit about you.
Yeah. So I said it before. Multiplayer is in the works. We're looking at testing multiplayer later this month. I want to expand to iOS and Android, localize in other languages. I want to bring more people to the game. I even had the idea of like an esports thing.
Oh, wow.
And so, but I mean, that will be a bit later down the line. So I really think this could be really big. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Awesome. Tell us where you can find Chesslocke.
Yes, Chesslocke is available on Steam for Windows PC. Just look up Chesslocke. That is chess, one word, Locke, Chesslocke.
And how much is it?
It is $6.99 US.
Awesome. A very fair price for how much time
thanks.
I've put into that game. I've been playing it a lot, so I travel a lot for work. And when I go on a plane, like it's been kind of my like relax and play game.
Nice.
It's been
nice.
It's really been it's so unique. It's just something I've never tried before. So I've been so happy playing this game. So for $6.99, yeah, I can't really see a better deal than that. But you said you came up with this because you were playing a lot of RPGs. Like,
Right.
I'm an RPG junkie. Like, I am still trying to chase that dragon of Final Fantasy VII from 25 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Like, what do you play? What was your go-to when you were coming up with Chesslocke?
It was Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yes.
And if you think about tactics, it's played on a grid. Mm-hmm. You move your units across the squares on the grid to better, more advantageous positions, and they have unique abilities. And at the end of the match, you have your experience points that carry over as you progress through the game. And that's how I made Chesslocke. It's chess with RPG elements, experience points, level ups, new abilities you can unlock and upgrade, and all the matches are unique and different. And
that's pretty. Yeah, I can see that. And on top of that, you have your campaign, and then you have your post game dungeon, just like Final Fantasy Tactics had. Remember that dungeon that was like, what, 13
the dark
stories tall or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
I never played the any of the other Tactics games. Did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I kind of missed out on. It was on Game Boy Advance, I believe.
Right. Yeah, there was Advance 2 or something like that. No, I never got into that one.
But I love the Final Fantasy series. I kind of fell off a little bit. I didn't love 13. I didn't love 15 that much. So I'm hoping 16 brings me back.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah, 15. It just, I don't know what it was. Like, I felt like it didn't have the depth other battle systems had. I didn't love the characters as much as other people did. I don't know. What RPG are you streaming now?
Let's see. I just beat Outriders.
Oh, wow.
Which is it's published by Square Enix, who makes Final Fantasy, and it's a looter shooter RPG. And you pick one of your classes. Like there's a tank class, there's a pyromancer class, technomancer, which uses like gadgets, and then kind of a rogue trickster type class. But so you have these 4 different classes you can choose from. You get experience points and level ups, and then you get your gear pieces, and then you have these abilities that you get to choose from. So it's a shooter RPG, and it was pretty fun. I just beat that a couple nights ago. It was a pretty good game.
Oh, nice. What system is that on?
I played it for PC. I think it's also on Xbox.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't delved into the PC gaming yet. I heard that was good, and I think I've been trying to get a PlayStation 5 for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And I could not find one, but Returnal looks sweet, and
yeah.
what was that other one? It's that kind of like action RPG that just came out. Near Automata or something.
Oh, yeah,
or
Near Replicant.
Replicant.
Just came out, yeah.
Yeah. So, do you stream every night?
No. Well, with the wife and baby and trying to work on Chesslocke, promoting Chesslocke and stuff, I'm not able to stream every night. I stream a couple times a week, maybe 2 to 3 times a week. It's different times, different days. It's whenever I can, really.
Okay.
And I'm actually thinking about the next game that I'm going to stream, and I think it's going to be one of the older Final Fantasy games. On my Twitch channel, I have a list of all the RPGs that I completed, and I have the RPGs that are on my backlog.
Oh, wow.
And I have some of the viewers help me decide what the next game is, which I need to decide probably within the next day or two here, because I just beat Outriders, so I need to go back to my retro RPG roots. I have a few Final Fantasy games on the backlog, so it might be one of those.
Nice. Which ones are on the backlog?
Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3, and Final Fantasy 13.
Okay.
And those 3 games got bad. They get a bad rap for some reason. I know 13, people say it's too linear. Final Fantasy 2, people complain about the battle system, and I just heard Final Fantasy 3 is kind of boring, and they've been on my backlog. But you know what? I want to see why people don't really care for these 3 Final Fantasy games. So I might do one of those.
Yeah, 13. I think the linearity wasn't even its biggest issue. For me, like, it's a game where you actually learn the story through reading scripts that you find in the game versus learning the story through gameplay, like Final Fantasy 10, 9, 8, like those kind of games.
Yeah.
And the battle system is, they really took a chance with something interesting on it. So it's pretty polarizing if you like it or not. Final Fantasy 3, I actually really enjoyed.
Okay.
And then 2, it's the same thing as Saga Frontier was with me, where the leveling up in the battle system it never clicked with me, so I never really got into it. But
yeah,
I feel like if you're a Final Fantasy person, you have to play them all. You have
to
stick through
it. If you go to my Twitch channel, look at my information, and I have the list of RPGs I completed, and I have about 12 Final Fantasy games on there. Oh, that's so awesome. It's just Final Fantasy. Yeah, let's see, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 Tactics. Those are the ones that I've completed so far, and they're only RPGs, not like Dirge of Cerberus. I don't count that.
Okay,
right?
Yeah.
That was the Vincent Valentine shooter game, so I beat that, but I'm not counting that. And I don't know if you can see behind me. Let me adjust my light. Yeah, it's Cloud vs. Sephiroth.
Oh, that is so cool.
with the moon. Oh, and over here, that's a cactuar.
Yep, I saw him.
Yeah,
Oh, that's so cool. I love that.
yeah.
Man, what was I gonna ask you? So are you playing? Do you stream PC games mostly, or?
Oh yeah, yeah. So I have a PS2,
Okay.
a PS4, a Nintendo Switch, and a PC.
Okay. So I have a PlayStation 4 and I have a Nintendo Switch. Mm-hmm. Do you have any kind of like hidden gem JRPGs or RPGs that you could recommend to me? Because I am like desperately looking right now.
Yeah. Okay. If you have a Switch, I totally recommend Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, that was a really good game.
Okay, so you did play that, yeah.
Yeah.
So it has that retro look, like a Final Fantasy VI retro look, but it has the genre is called, I think it's called HD 2D.
Right.
Where it looks two-dimensional, but it has the advanced particle effects graphics and things like
The
that.
artwork was beautiful in that game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the soundtrack, I absolutely loved it. Hey, did you play Project Triangle Strategy?
I did.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Well, hang on. Let me take a look at my list here. What do I have completed?
What else did I have? Mario Rabbids was really, really good on Switch.
Which one?
Mario Rabbids Kingdom.
I don't know that one.
It's basically it's a Final Fantasy Tactics strategy RPG, except it's Mario, Rabbids, and guns.
Huh.
It's always on sale for like $15. You should really give it a go if you haven't tried it.
Okay. Did you play Dragon Quest 11?
I did, and I never finished it.
I put in about I think I clocked 150 hours.
Wow.
And I loved it. It's a great game. I recommend it. I was kind of ready for it to be done. I mean, when you, it was 150 hours. Now there are more things to do. When you beat the game, there are more things that you can do. And I was doing all the quests and all the, crafting stuff.
Yeah.
But I was ready for it to be done, though. Yeah, I have a lot of retro games on my RPG list. Oh, you know what I bought the other night? Pokemon Snap.
Oh, how's that going?
It's going well. I got it. I wanted a game to play with my wife, and she likes really cute things.
Yeah.
And so, the new Pokemon Snap is great. I played the original from 1999 on the Nintendo 64, and it was actually a really good game. It was so different. I mean, you're so used to when it comes to Pokemon, you're so used to battling, right? Right. You battle other Pokemon, collect, capture other Pokemon. There's zero battling in this game.
Right.
And you're just a photographer on a moving track that you cannot control, and you're looking left, you're looking right, you're looking up, and then you can eventually interact with the environment, and there are Pokemon everywhere. And you take photos of them. When I say it, it sounds kind of dull, but it's actually really well done. It's really fun.
Yeah, I heard it's like a really cool, relaxing experience.
Yeah, it is.
That's cool. I've been on the fence about it. I do a podcast every Monday night called Nintendo Pow Block, and for the listeners listening to this on podcast, we're recording this on a Monday night, but I skipped out on tonight's episode because they're talking all about Pokemon Snap, and I haven't bought it yet. So,
okay.
I'm actually gonna listen to my co-hosts and base it off of them, but I'm sure they're just gonna gush all over it tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to tell us about yourself or tell us about Chesslocke or game development?
So if you want the latest news, I suggest joining the Discord channel. Chesslocke is on Discord. It has the latest announcements. I give sneak peeks of everything that I'm working on. I've shown the multiplayer screens that are in development, so you get a taste of what it's going to be like. And I give tips on how to play the game. And it's people talking about Chesslocke. So join the Chesslocke Discord.
Now, how do I find the Chesslocke Discord?
Yeah, so just go to either your Discord app or the Discord page, and then just type in Chesslocke, Chesslocke, and join.
Awesome. And where can we find you?
I'm very active on Twitter. On Twitter and Twitch, I'm at Loxulus.
How do you spell that?
Loxxulus.
Awesome. So you can find me on Twitter at DCDM99. Check us out at bossrushnetwork.com. I also wrote an article on Chesslocke, so check that out at www.bossrushgames.com. And let us know what you think about the interview, or if you played Chesslocke, in the comments section on Twitter, or leave us a review on 1v1. We'd love to hear back from you. So Taylor, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for telling us all about Chesslocke. I really love the game, and I really, really hope you have great success with it.
Thanks so much.
All right, everybody, take care. Have a good night.